Hi again, everybody. It's time for your news break on Paper News 24/7. I'm Frank Phillips reporting. You remember what winter was like last year? Well, many of us keep a wary eye on the forecast each day. We also know that each day of temperatures in the 40s, or 50s even, means we are one day closer to spring. And while the weather forecasters expect La Nina to bring us another rough winter, like last year, it simply hasn't materialized. That's been good news, say representatives of the Chamber of Commerce and Montgomery County Economic Development. Most businesses have been pleased, especially in the retail sector, said David Long, Executive Vice President of the Crawfordsville, Montgomery County Chamber of Commerce. I think the mild winter was unexpected by most. Psychologically, I think it helps people's attitude more when the weather has been as mild as it has this winter. The lack of snow and frozen ground has certainly helped the newest company to commit to Montgomery County, said Bill Henderson, Executive Director of Montgomery County Economic Development. The new company, Hervox Stamco, has been able to work through the winter, which is kind of unusual, Henderson said. They are out there putting in footings and a foundation. Crawfordsville hotels benefited from the Super Bowl in Indianapolis this weekend. I think it's kind of a nice economic development piece for our region that we have such nice weather for the Super Bowl, Henderson said. The weather was not so idyllic in central Indiana during last year's Super Bowl. An ice storm meant terrible driving conditions, and ice on power lines meant loss of electricity for hundreds of county homes. So what was forecast for this winter, the winter of 2011-12? Well, more of the same as last year. Dave Tusek, a longtime, well-experienced forecaster with the National Weather Service in Indianapolis, said the winter of 2011 and 12, which would be this winter, of course, would likely be more of the same we experienced last year. There is the potential, and perhaps a slightly elevated potential, for ice storm conditions this winter compared to any other given winter, he told a reporter for the State House File on the internet. Tusek was not alone in forecasting more of the same this winter. The Farmer's Almanac also said we would have another rough winter, prompting this comment on the Almanac's webpage: "Wow, I bet you feel stupid. This has been the warmest winter with the least precipitation in my 35 years of life. I live in Rochester, New York. They say we've received nearly 2 inches of snow this year, which is unlikely. However, I guess if you add a 1/4 inch here and a 1/4 inch there, I guess anything's possible. Every week since November has seen at least one day in the 40s. So why did the mild weather this year surprise everyone? Well, it's because La Nina did not behave as usual. Typically, La Nina occurs once every 2 to 5 years, but it has been known to influence weather 2 years in a row. La Nina is characterized by unusually cold ocean temperatures in the equatorial Pacific compared to El Nino, which is characterized by unusually warm ocean temperatures in the equatorial Pacific. That's according to the Pacific Marine Environmental Laboratory and quoted on the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration webpage. The result is usually, now usually is the operative word here, usually a wetter than normal winter with colder than normal temperatures in central Indiana. Of course, as the old margarine commercial said, it's not nice to fool Mother Nature, and obviously it's not true 100% of the time that anyone can predict what the weather will be, especially several months out. When we come back, more local news. We'll check sports and see what Weatherby, our little weatherbird friend, has in mind for the forecast. You're watching Newsbreak on Paper News 24/7.
At Zon's Floor Covering, we don't offer washers, paint, or lumber. Floor covering is our expertise for your home or office. At Zon's Floor Covering, we offer luxurious styles of carpeting and realistic-looking vinyl patterns, and we do it better than anyone else. You'll fall in love with the possibilities at Zon's, all backed by professional installation, superior personal service, and our 3-year installation warranty. Stop by Zon's today and see why we want to be everywhere you are.
bad wrecks happen to good people. That's why people take their wrecks to the good people at Gould's Body and Paint in Crawfordsville. Gould's will work with your insurance company to provide an accurate quote of your needed repairs. Then the iCar Gold Class specialists take over, restoring your vehicle to good as new. Gould's will service any make, any model, any type, or amount of damage. Just remember our motto: at Gould's Body and Paint, our business is a wreck.
And we're back on Newsbreak. Students in the South Montgomery 5th and 9th grades will be issued take-home computers starting next school year. The South Montgomery Community School Corporation is proud to announce an exciting initiative to provide students with anytime, anywhere access to modern educational and collaborative resources, according to a press release. During the 2012-13 school year, all 5th and 9th grade students will be issued a sub-notebook computer for classroom and take-home use. This pilot will be the first year of one-to-one, that's one computer to one student program, but ultimately the district plans to provide all students in grades 5 through 12 with a personal learning device, also called a PLD. That's an abbreviation you're going to be seeing in the near future. Future plans could call for an expansion of classroom sets of laptops or tablets into the primary grades for targeted classroom use. So that's what's coming up in the South Montgomery School District. And looking at other local news, Mike Pence will be the keynote speaker at the Montgomery County Republican Lincoln Day dinner on Thursday. The doors open at 5:30 p.m. Dinner starts at 7. And the International Federation of Business and Professional Women of Crawfordsville is going to hold its Tuesday meeting at 114 South Washington Street. Networking starts at 5:30, dinner at 6, the program at 6:45, and business meeting afterwards. The program will be honoring the Woman of Achievement from Crawfordsville. For reservations and contact information, call Cheryl at 765-376-5644, 376-5644. Looking at sports on this Monday, we turn to page A6 and read this story. From Linden, a record-breaking performance by Southmont at the North Montgomery Wrestling Regional led the way for Montgomery County High Schools last Saturday. The Mounties qualified 7 wrestlers for next week's Newcastle semi-state, the most in the school's history. Overall, the county had 13 wrestlers qualify for the semi-state, but no wrestler was crowned champion. Qualifying for Southmont were freshman Wayne Highfield, who was 4th in the 106-pound class, junior Josh Jenkins, 4th in the 113-pound class, sophomore Chandler Moore, 2nd in 120 pounds, junior Dan Barrett, 2nd in 138, senior Denny Brown, 2nd in 182, senior Jordan Phillips, 3rd in 220-pound class, and senior Chandler Burkhart, 3rd in the 285-pound class. Southmont coach Kevin Wilkinson was extremely pleased with his team, and in particular how they have wrestled the past 2 weeks. Last week the Mounties won the sectional. And the finals for the sectional swimming and diving championships were held Saturday at Crawfordsville High School. Crawfordsville's run as the queen of the sectional was ended on Saturday by Twin Lakes. Twin Lakes took first place with a score of 346, with Crawfordsville in second with 279. Southmont came in 8th place with 168, and North Montgomery took 9th with 163 points. Well, we've had undoubtedly the best winter in several years as far as weather goes. And let's check Weatherby and see what our little weatherbird friend has to say about today. He says, unlike a year ago, today's high will be near 50 degrees. Yes, under many sunny skies. Weatherby says the high today is going to be 46 specifically, and if he's off more than 3 degrees, send us an email at weatherby@thepaper247.com, and let us know. Include your name and phone number, and at the end of the month, all those who called in and caught Weatherby will be entered into a drawing for a prize. And that's your news break and weather break and sports break on Paper News 24/7. I'm Frank Phillips reporting. You just have an outstanding day and enjoy the sunshine.